64-year-old Jeff Whittington and his two sons, Ian and Anthony, are close, literally. Their homes are only a few miles apart. They have lunch together. They work together. They take bike rides together. But it wasn't always this way. It took a journey to the brink and back to get here. Ian and Anthony almost lost their dad, and likely would have if they hadn't stepped in to do something about it.
Even when I was younger, I was never really fit. I could never have called myself fit. I wasn't great at exercising, I wasn't great at doing anything really. And although I wasn't this weight, or I wasn't that weight, I wasn't heavy at the time, I was never really fit. I never enjoyed sport or of any kind.
Jeff's sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, drinking, and hours spent on the overnight shift left his body exhausted and out of shape. All those factors contributed to a type 2 diabetes diagnosis in 2003.
It didn't really hit me as anything major. They were assuring me at that time, yeah, with diet I could change it somewhat. I think I was even told it's a lifelong complaint, and we can look after it. We can manage it. That's the big word. We can manage it.
When we didn't do anything, that's quite an interesting time, I think, because for 10 years we didn't see any reason to do anything, and neither did he. It was just another pill he was taking, another few pills.
After managing his diabetes with medication for 10 years, but not making any other lifestyle changes, Jeff's condition began to decline. The most noticeable change was in his feet.
But by that time then, yeah, I knew this is one of those things that isn't going to get any better. That certainly wasn't going to get better.
Ian and Anthony saw their father's health declining, felt him pulling away, his weight increasing. If his feet continued to decline, he was even facing a foot amputation. His sons decided to step in. Being filmmakers, they thought making a film to document their journey would help hold everyone accountable.
So it was November in 2013, and I still remember Ian sent me a text saying, look, because we've been talking about it for some time, but he suddenly said to me, well, why don't we put a name to it? You know, we've been talking about doing something, and we've been spending a bit of time going around there, but why don't we call it Fixing Dad?
When you're a kid, your dad's a hero. There's no one stronger, greater, or braver than your dad.
So when they first came up with it,
and
they almost asked me if I'd agree to. Look, they said, "We want to try this, Dad. Will you promise to do what we ask?" And I said, "Well, if you really want to put yourself through this, I will. Yes, I will do whatever you asked to most degrees." And that's how it started.
In the UK, there are roughly 3.5 million people living with diabetes, and an estimated 500,000 or more that are undiagnosed. 90% of those cases are type 2, like Jeff, largely influenced by lifestyle factors like diet and lack of exercise. And like diabetes trends worldwide, it is expected to increase in the UK, adding another 1 million people by the year 2025. For their dad, Ian and Anthony set 3 goals in nutrition, fitness, and mindset. Jeff fought them along the way, but began to see results.
The problem I had with the foot was that I couldn't do a lot of running. By the time it had I got lost a lot of weight, I could at least get around on it again. But putting pressure down through the pedals, I could manage. So I just got on. That's when I started the cycling, and it wasn't very long before I enjoyed it. And I think even if I could run, I think I would still prefer cycling. It's fantastic.
The ultimate goal was riding a 100-mile bike race through London.
Without that cycling, he never would have made it, because that gave him something to almost replace those, the junk food he was on and the other foods he was on. It gave him the same rush, the same feeling of excitement. He could just go out for a bike ride.
Still, the goal of a 100-mile race through London seemed out of reach to Jeff, and was almost derailed completely when they received devastating news during an MRI scan to check the progress of his health.
How's that? Are they in the right place?
Yeah.
Yeah?
When your whole world hangs on fixing Dad, there's one word you can't afford to hear.
The results of the pancreas and the liver were brilliant. but we did find he had kidney cancer, a very small tumour, so while he was in the MRI scanner we found that out, which was a bit of a shock at the time because obviously we had put so much into this project. We were already a long way along the road with it, and it was a very personal thing for all of us, and to actually be there when they found that was suddenly like, you know, could this be the end of it?
And I was thinking, you know, that's it. All this has been for nothing. What we've done so far is absolutely nothing. They did the operation, obviously, and realised that they got it and got it out and it's cured. And that made me realise that there I was so terrified of this disease, this cancer, and it wasn't going to be the thing that kills me. The thing that was going to kill me was this thing I've been living with all my life for the last 15 years.
Jeff underwent a successful operation to remove the tumor, refocused, and then got back on his bike. Soon, it was race time. Jeff crossed the finish line like a new man.
Unbelievable.
Today, he's still cycling, keeping the weight off, and is more fit than he's ever been in his life. Most of all, his blood sugar levels are normal, circulation returned to his diabetic foot, and the ulcers have healed. It appears he and his sons are reversing the course of his type 2 diabetes together.
Our relationship's closer. We have terrible battles still, but now he's working with us and we've got this project going. So, you know, it's a bit close for comfort sometimes, but we have a deeper level of relationship, definitely. So I think we spend a lot more time together and we understand each other before we open our mouths almost. You know, we really got a...
yeah, we've been through a lot in the last few years. It has just made us all so much closer. And that's only because of the project, really. Otherwise, you know, who knows where he might be now, and we'd probably be sitting here regretting it.
I just love them to bits, and I'll do anything for them now. And I think I probably always would have done, but what they've done for me, I could never thank them enough for. It literally has saved my life.
Jeff, Anthony, and Ian are now sharing their experiences with other families battling diabetes. They even have a trip planned to the United States, are in talks with the American Diabetes Association to mentor other families and also share Jeff's love of cycling. Look, whether it's a high-tech treatment or lifestyle changes like diet and exercise combined with support from doctors and loved ones, it does seem that there is more hope than ever after a diagnosis. For Vital Signs, I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta.